Folks that are experiencing or may be challenged with acne. As you can see, I have a few blemishes right now, which is rare. So I've noticed recent after a long period of not having any kind of breakout. I have like some blemishes, so I'm going to touch on that in just a moment. And then also for those folks, women who have very fine hair, and the hair that many chocolate women say that they hate. And I can tell you, it definitely has an effect on our confidence and and how we feel about ourselves. Greetings, this is Body-Culinary. So sending you all a nice warm shout out, and today I just wanted to share for those folks that are experiencing or may be challenged with acne. As you can see, I have a few blemishes right now, which is rare. So I've noticed recent after a long period of not having any kind of breakout. I have like some blemishes, so I'm going to touch on that in just a moment. And then also for those folks, women who have very fine hair, and the hair that many chocolate women say that they hate. And I can tell you, it definitely has an effect on our confidence and and how we feel about ourselves. As someone that used to compete a lot in fitness and work in the fitness industry, someone that's competed in the fitness industry, I remember years ago being much more muscular and cut, which I really enjoyed, that physique, but I would have traded all of that for clear skin. So fortunately, let me say, like the way that I eat, I don't eat any junk food, but I know exactly why my skin is breaking out. And for many years, I didn't know why. So it took many years to discover why. So I know some folks would say, oh, why do you share that? I think transparency can be very valuable and also be very encouraging to women that just may not feel beautiful or comfortable in their own skin. So I'm in a space where I'm comfortable, and I know that I have beautiful skin. I eat very healthy, and I also know mindless habits have an effect on the body, whether that's gaining weight. I am a person that gains weight very easily. I have half of my thyroid was removed for thyroid issues, so my body temperature can run cold, and that affects my metabolism. So I have enough good habits that maintain a healthy weight and a healthy weight range. But this, even though I eat living foods, and this is a note for folks who eat living food and use eating raw or vegan as an excuse to just binge on lots of fats and nuts. So no, this is actually telling a story usually around my cycle. And also if I'm eating lots of nuts mindlessly, which once I fall into that rhythm, right? And if I'm watching things that stress me out, or we may not think of it as stress, but things that have you comparing yourself, yes, even me, comparing yourself to others on social media, I find that watching this screen sometimes can make us have like a type of anxiety. And I don't usually like to claim certain kinds of words, or give certain things power, but also just to acknowledge something. There's a mindlessness that you can go into, even like a subtle worry, that you can have when you're comparing yourself to others on social media. So that's a huge factor, and something I explore a lot when it comes to nutrition and fitness is mindless habits, or just habits not to beat up on ourselves when we're not present with what we're doing. So I think it can be valuable to share as someone that's worked in the fitness industry, and as a personal trainer, and as a mom and somebody with a busy schedule, to not just share the finished product, right? Because often we'll look at the finished product or the result and not really, I don't know if the word is respect, but really not be in reality about the process of what it took. So I used to have marks much worse, all hyperpigmentation all over my skin, right? So then it was a constant cycle of breakout. So I know that this is nuts. Too much fat, even if it's raw fat, and in particular unsoaked nuts. And basically my liver and my body just does not like too much fats. Also the combinations of the foods that I'm eating. So while I have no issues with constipation or in terms of nutrition, the body's ability to absorb the food and to absorb those fats, it makes a big difference. So I'm just sharing my experience in this living experiment. So fortunately, I know that, and I would say to folks that have acne, do not pick it. If I look at years ago being having so much acne, what I would do is just feel anxious and try to pick it and extract it, and that would make it worse. And so I find that these fade very easily on their own because I'm eating fresh foods. But to just be piling, again, nuts and fat on top of each other, or eating lots of even raw desserts, which I don't do anymore, but just eating the raw nuts, too many of them, walnuts, sunflower seeds, and really that mouth feel, of just enjoying the party in your mouth and not being accountable for how those foods are going to be digested in your stomach, they make a big difference. So I'm not eating anything processed. I haven't eaten any processed foods in 11 years, except for any processing that I would do in my own home. So many of us are looking for the magic pill, and just think because we say raw, vegan, there's so many different variables when we start putting these labels on ourselves: paleo, keto, intermittent fasting, which sometimes I'm like, is really just not eating after a certain hour and allowing your body to digest the food that's already in there. So these are things, there's no shortcut around you personally in your journey, listening and noticing what works for your body. And it's a journey. Now, you can take from other people's information to shorten your learning curve, but we're all different in our bodies, our work schedules, our sleep schedules, and it's for you to find what I like to call the sweet spot. So fortunately, I feel pretty confident knowing that these were clear as long as I don't eat the nuts. So for me, that means not purchasing them, or my sister is eating. I just wanted to reach into her bag, or if I'm stressed, going to eat those things. And that is even a mindset, because a lot of things that we do that feel good, usually you're not going to do it one time, right? If you find something that feels good, sometimes that's how you learn, right? Through what I call sufferation. So let's say like I've gone long periods of no oil in my hair, and so it was getting really dried out in the garden. So I started adding some oil, and things like that are soothing to me. It felt so good. I was adding oil, all natural oils, more oil and more oil and more oil. And eventually I had one of my recent videos I call a Twinkie fiasco, where I went to wash it out. It felt like I had plastic coated in my hair. I don't have any gels, nothing in it, but just the oil. I just got tremendous buildup because I was constantly adding, oil to my hair, and my hair is very fine. It doesn't like a lot of handling. Actually, I'm really loving my hair right now. They started with double strand twists, and now I'm starting to see a little length because it's fallen over. But again, there's sometimes this anxiety around, we don't know what the hair is going to look like. I can definitely tell you with this hair, it usually never matches any kind of style. So I have, it's been a process for almost 30 years of embracing what is mine. And I encourage folks, find what works for you naturally. Whereas like with the food, I don't worry about the food because I don't eat junk food. So that's energy and attention I can put to something else. I feel with semi-freeform locks, although I love my loose natural hair, and I found so many styles that work with my hair, that this works for me, right? And one of the reasons I'll say, because it's clean, my scalp feels wonderful with nothing on it, with no oil. It feels, it doesn't get itchy. Not that I haven't really had problems with dandruff, but I love that it doesn't leave oil on my sheets or bed linens or on my forehead. So it can really be a great help to those folks trying to keep their skin clean. So the scalp is nice and clean. I also have found a nice happy medium where I don't have any oil, but I'm using I'll say I put food on my face. So I found the fresh food and pulps and juices work great for my hair. I do know with my recent fiasco with the too much oil, and it was feeling so good putting the fresh aloe leaf in my hair, but again, I overdid it. So eventually, because the pieces, I started to poke holes in the aloe and put it in, little pieces were getting caught, and it felt fantastic in my scalp. But some of the pieces did get caught and dried into my hair. And once you get something in its hair, it's hard to get out. And with 4C hair, it's already very delicate. So my hair is cleansed, and it took like almost forever to get that stuff out. So this hair can't really take a beating. I would definitely say that using all natural shampoos, and maybe it costs a little bit more, it makes a tremendous, I can feel a night and day difference from a cheaper shampoo where it does not strip the hair, and so your hair is able to be light, but it doesn't feel dry from the juice and the spritz that I'm putting in my hair. And I did make a video of an alternative to rose water, because sometimes like it goes so fast, I just can't see myself constantly spending on rose water. It's like spending on perms and all the stuff. I feel like it, with this beauty mark or this Afro textured hair and beauty, I don't feel like we should have to be dependent on things that are constantly have us outsourcing. So I found, I'm really glad and amazed that it's working quite well. And so that's what I'm spritzing on my hair, and it feels great. So this is the progress of my semi-freeform locks. So, and actually I've also embraced that they're coming in flat. So now you can start to see that they're more flat. Right here, it's not very dense. And again, I think that this works well for folks with fine hair, because when I back in the day when I used to twist it, you would see my scalp. So things like your skin and your hair being scalp, or our fears around hair loss, which with the fear of hair loss, we'll start messing with the hair more, messing with the eyebrows more, and before you know, we've tweezed our eyebrows to the point where they don't go back. We've picked our face to the point where we've got hyperpigmentation and scars all over, and we've teased our hair to the point where we've pulled it out by the follicle and damaged your hairline. We're damaging ourselves with all of the anxiety. So having a simple natural lifestyle helps me to track very easily what I need to change. Like, what is it that will cause my face to break out? So for me, that means addressing, I know sometimes I have a tendency not to sleep, so that makes a big difference in my skin. And I'm eating fresh, all natural food with more than enough nutrition and enough calories, but also to absorb the food and the nutrition that's a big part of it too. So there are these other intangibles sometimes in our anxiety that we skip over. So I relax. I don't pick at my face, and I can watch it clear very quickly. But I just wanted to share. Here's a scar from another one. So this is my overconsumption of nuts mindlessly. Sunflower seeds, walnuts, and then almonds in particular. Right? So even if it's natural, something really for us to address is mindless eating, which usually goes with our mental state and not being present. So you can relax and you can pinpoint what's going on with your body and see what it is that you need to tweak. So that's why I say, and I'm sharing this because I'm a person that's had, if you look on some of my older videos, you'll see like it's dramatic how much acne that I had. And so hopefully it's some encouragement for folks to relax, because I can tell you there was one time where I was so uncomfortable and I had to be around some corporate clients that I was training, and I went and I put makeup on, which I couldn't stand the feeling, because I felt like my face couldn't really heal when I was clogging the pores with all of that makeup. So although I do like the look of a fresh face makeup, I prefer my own skin and that it can breathe, and I like to be very active, and I find that holds me back. Maybe occasional, there are some natural mascaras and things like that. I've even seen some DIY where you can make your own. But a lot of times I'll prefer just to put some castor oil on my eyelashes. And there was a time for years where I took everything off. I took my rings off. I took my jewelry off. I took my earrings off. Not even any lip gloss. And that was my personal experimentation of just being comfortable with my body. And I did that for some years. So it's only, I think, in the last year and a half or so, I started to put something back in the holes over here. But it was really about me sitting in, this is me, this is what I look like, and health is the ultimate beauty product. So when I would get compliments on my skin, I always say like, wow, it's amazing that someone would compliment me on my skin, because I know where my skin can go. So I just wanted to share this to be real and transparent, and encourage folks to relax and focus on your health, which is your number one beauty product. And then you'll see this will fade on its own, because the body is cleansing and building all the time. We just want to get out of the way and not keep clogging it and find some other ways to relax, or journal write, or just become very aware of the mindset that we're in, or when we're acting out mindlessly. So that I found is a lot of strategy, and also finding other things that are very pleasant in your life other than physical food. So I hope this is helpful today. Share it with somebody that may have acne, or hair that they feel like they're struggling with, for some motivation, because that can be a big one for women, especially chocolate women. But I'm here to encourage you, to eat rather than for a label, eat for vitality. I invite you to eat for vitality, for your mood, for preserving your beauty, which is a precious commodity, right? And in society, popular society, usually they give us a window of your teens, 20s, and 30s. And then in popular culture, you kind of go radio silent when you reach another phase of life. So it's really for us to rewrite the narrative and have confidence and a relaxation. Like, just relax when you know that you're doing everything. I have on my hands, trying out some vegan polish on my nails, on my toes. So you can relax when you know that you're being responsible for your health, and notice and make corrections, and not beat up on yourself. And then something that I'm exploring here, I went back and forth on this for years because of the stigma around it. But allowing yourself, I'm big on allowing yourself to play. That's the trampoline, the hula hoop, and this is my newest addition for my personal movement practice, which is very important to me. It's something that I coach other women in when it comes to fitness, is finding your personal movement practice. So although I'm very familiar with the gym and have trained in fitness, as a busy woman and also as a mother, I've always found it very helpful to remove excuses from movement. So I have everything that I could ever need, from pull-ups to equipment, things that don't take up too much space, that I can use to have play, right? So if I can have play, that's much more pleasurable. You want to find pleasure in your life. That's for you. And that pleasure actually can satisfy us sometimes, so that we don't eat mindlessly. But do be aware that we can actually be stressed, which I find one of the biggest stresses is sometimes watching the computer, violence, things that have you worrying. I find automatically that is when I will mindlessly eat. Or if I'm sharing with my bestie, right, with my bestie sister. So hopefully this is encouraging. Subscribe to the channel. Share this video with someone who you know might benefit from it, and create a great day on purpose. I'm going to go head to the market. I like to even get to the market sometimes when it's early, even dark, because I like to talk to the farmers and see what I'm going to get. I love the market. So do check out some of the market videos on this channel, and let me know if you're interested in learning about living foods and creating a movement practice on your own that is effective, right? So that we have cardio, flexibility, strength, nutrition, rest, and relaxation, which makes a healthy balance program for you, right? And it's a lifestyle. Create a great day on purpose. See you soon. So everybody can grow something.